we are walking a complicated path with the plants today, a plant that is much more complicated than the path that people have traditionally walked with the plants in traditional cultures. And one of the reasons for that is because of the nature of the modern experience. And I really, I'm talking in very broad terms here, and, certainly can't say what I'm saying is true in every situation. But one of the things that I've seen in my, 30 plus years of working with the plants in a therapeutic setting is that, and working in a therapeutic setting generally in the depth hypnosis model, which I developed, which some of my students have affectionately called ayahuasca slowed down. The thing that I have noticed is that even over the 30 years, people are much more disrupted than they were, because they are living in an environment where they have lost connection with the earth and with the wisdom of the earth generally. And that sense of disconnection ripples through their psyches all the way through the sense of disconnection to the self. And then all of the terrible manifestations that can come out of that disconnection. And, in a traditional setting, you may have people who have that experience here and there, but you don't have this massive social experience of disconnection, where you have the web of the ecological environment buckling under the weight of the war that colonialism has waged against the earth for so long. You have people who really have lost their way and can't find their way back, and are looking to plants to do it. And they need to do some basic work in order to be able to hold what the plants are showing them. And this is why I find that, and I have created the plant medicine insight integration certificate with all of this in mind. And I have tried to create an educational environment where the plants, of course, are given the center stage in terms of what they offer. But I try to help people learn how to address some of the issues that people in this state of modern dissolution can use, right? And one of the things that I see in terms of the approach with modern people coming into the medicine is they come in with it with that same consumer attitude that is sort of the nature of the cultures, especially cultures that have been influenced by the American culture. It's like, what can I take? What can I have? Make it better. What can I, or how can I make this thing go away? That this is gonna do it for me. And that way of approaching plant medicines is not only disrespectful, but it's dangerous. And so what I'm trying to do with this education, and this class is just the beginning of that, is to help people create a larger kind of basket to be able to hold the jewels that the plant offers them. And so we have this class and the advanced class. So this class is at the very beginning of that education, and the advanced class in plant medicine is at the very end. And everything in between is designed to help you understand and articulate a basket. It's not the only basket, it's a basket that, and all of the different aspects of that basket that are needed to help people work on the different levels of their experience, where they need healing in order to be able to hold what the plants are going to show them, or to be able to recognize what the plants have shown them. I find it very, very frequent that people, come to me with experiences from the plants, and they have absolutely no idea what the plant has just shown them. And so I really like to help people, like with the dreams class. Many of you were in the dreams class last night. I try to help people learn the language of I call it the language of the soul, which is the plant that is spoken with the journey, with the shamanic journey, which is part of the education. And it's also the language that plants speak. So, I mean, there are dialects, of course, but there is a general language of plants that one can learn. And then to work with the shamanic methods of power retrieval, soul retrieval, knowing how to do that work without the plants, and being able, without, I mean, of course the plants may be informing, but learning how to do those kinds of shamanic processes, soul part exchanges, extractions, curse removals, all these things that you do with shamanic work outside of the medicine, so that you understand in a broken down, slowed down way how to heal. And then when the plants are kind of coming in with that kind of locomotive quality that they tend to have, then you're able to recognize what is happening, and able to be able to help people. When people are reporting, you're able to say, okay, this is where this is where that is, this is where this is the further work we need to do. This was a soul retrieval. This is the further work we need to do in order to integrate that. That was a power retrieval. This is the further work we need to do in order to integrate that, so the person can hold it. So that people who are working with the plants don't have a weekend where they work with the plants and the rest of their life where they live, right? We want to be able to integrate all of that. And then, of course, with depth hypnosis, which brings together all of the shamanic work with ideas of Buddhist practice, which are applied in a very particular way toward healing and enlightenment. So you have the process of healing becoming the process of enlightenment. And you have all of the healing processes that shamanism provides, providing stepping stones toward the ability of the individual to be able to hold the knowledge they need to be able to hold in order to be able to step into that more evolved, developmental, and spiritual experience, which we often call enlightenment. And this, what I just talked about, it's not necessarily the way traditional approaches to plant medicine are, but it is the way we approach it here. And it is the influence of that huge body of wisdom that Buddhism provides us, that gives us the internal structure, the internal discipline, and the path in which to apply all of this power and beauty in an integrated way that meets the needs of modern people working with traditional and ancient wisdom systems in a respectful way that helps change the world, right? You get all of this change happening with individuals, and that will change the world. And I'm so heartened to hear how many of you are interested in helping people integrate the work of the plant medicine with others. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to offer you my wisdom. This is wisdom that I've gained over, it's not my wisdom, I'm sort of a funnel for that wisdom, but it's a tremendous amount of, I feel so grateful to have been in the presence of the wisdom that comes through the teachings here at the Sacred Stream. And I'm so happy and grateful to have that opportunity to offer that wisdom to you as you work with other people, and to help ground it, because there's so much work that's going on that's not grounded, and it may have very good intention, but the thing about, one of the things you see with the work here at the Sacred Stream is that there is a real amalgamation of Buddhist and shamanic thought, and one of the and the reason that you have that is because there are shortcomings with Buddhism in terms of the modern experience and how it approaches it, and there are shortcomings with shamanism with the wisdom and the way that it is applied to the modern experience. And one of the shortcomings I find in shamanic practice, having studied shamanism with shamanic practitioners from across the world, having worked with shamanic practices for almost 4 decades, I have found that there can be, not every situation, but there can be a lack of disciplined application. And with Buddhism, you never have that problem. There's always a disciplined application. And so bringing all of the power and beauty of the shamanic practices together with that disciplined application creates a very powerful, grounded place for people to land when they encounter all of the intensity and power of the plants, and when they begin to understand the depths of their own disorder and the depths of the possibility of their complete re-evolution of their sense of identity. And you need to have powerful medicine to support that. And I joked around at the beginning, I'm a plant in human form, but I really think we need to have that kind of perspective, to have someone in human form talking about the plants from the place from which they arrive, which I don't want to be too prideful there, but I feel like I do understand plants really well, and I understand humans less than I understand plants, but I understand humans as well. And so I can act as that bridge. I worked for many years as a language interpreter, and I feel like I am helping translate here. And I'm so grateful to be able to offer you my translation skills, as well as some of the things I've translated.